Welcome to our channel today as we bring you the list of the top 10 places to visit in Stratford Upon Avon. Stratford Upon Avon is on the must-see list for most tourists visiting England from overseas. It is, after all, the birthplace of world-famous playwright William Shakespeare. This pretty market town features loads of great things to do, from riverboat cruises to museums to theater shows and even a Harry Potter-style magic shop. There are some amazing attractions that help you to discover more about Stratford's colorful 800-year-plus history. Please be sure to check opening times and ticket prices in advance to avoid disappointment. Before you continue, please click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon for regular updates. Number 10. Magic Alley. Magic Alley is a little place of magic based on the Chronicles of Wizards Thatch book series. This place is especially amazing for kids 6 years old and up. Magic Alley was originally established in London, 7 years before the first Harry Potter book was published, which is why they call it the original Wizardry World. But they sadly had to move to Stratford. The place is divided between a quiz room and a shop where you can find cute souvenirs, but the quiz room is the main reason people go there. You could read the book beforehand if you want to find out what it's all about, but this is not required. You can easily spend an hour there. The room is truly magical, both in terms of design and atmosphere. They also have the Magic Alley Cafe, where you can find original Tudor recipe butterbeer. Yes, it's a thing. And other types of tea, coffee, and hot chocolate. Magic Alley is located right in front of the Everyman Cinema area, so I recommend you at least stop by to check it out. Number 9. Compton Verne Art Gallery and Park. This is also a very important place to visit. This award-winning art gallery near Stratford Upon Avon offers enjoyable ways to experience art and natural beauty of its stunning landscape. Housed in a Grade 1 listed Robert Adam mansion set in Capability Brown landscape parkland, Compton Verne is home to a growing collection of works of art from around the world, including Naples from 1600 to 1800, Germanic art from 1450 to 1650, British portraits including Reynolds' exceptional collection of Chinese bronzes, unique collection of British folk art, the Marx Lambert collection, plus an exciting program of changing exhibitions. You would really have to check it out. Number 8. Shakespeare's Schoolroom and Guildhall. Here you will discover where the famous Shakespeare was being taught and got his inspiration. Discover where William Shakespeare was educated and inspired to become the world's greatest playwright. Learn how he spent his early school days and first experienced theater. Take part in a tutor lesson with Master Thomas Jenkins and brush up on your Latin. More than just a museum, the Schoolroom and Guildhall provides a truly immersive experience for all. Marvel at our medieval wall paintings, dress up Tudor style, play Tudor games, and get messy with quill and ink. Stratford Upon Avon's Guildhall, in the heart of the town, is a fine example of one of a few remaining medieval guildhalls in the country. Their knowledgeable, enthusiastic, and welcoming guides will share with you the many stories the building has to tell. If you're coming to Stratford, don't miss out on what many are saying is the best attraction in town. Number 7. Mary Ardens Farm. This is another one of the 5 Shakespeare-related houses that you can visit in the city. Mary Arden was William Shakespeare's mother, and Mary Ardens Farm is the place where she lived and worked. Although the farm is a little bit outside the city, in a small village called Wilmcote, around 3 miles or 5 kilometers away from Stratford Upon Avon, it is worth a visit. They did such a good job in preserving the house, and it looks exactly like it did when Shakespeare was a boy. Nowadays, there are tutors who run the farm and take care of the animals. By the way, if you're traveling to the city with kids, meeting the animals and letting them feed the goats and herd the geese would be a nice activity for them. Number 6. Walk the Riverside and feed the famous Avon swans. During a walk on the riverside of the Avon River, you will definitely see many swans gliding on the water, as they are like a trademark of the city. A very popular thing to do during a Stratford Upon Avon promenade is to feed the swans and enjoy a peaceful, relaxing evening. Avon Swan Reserve is also located nearby, and you can visit it if you want to as well. Tip: if you want to feed the famous Avon swans, we recommend giving them brown bread in moderation, or even better, lettuce or spinach, as white bread is not healthy for them. Number 5. Royal Shakespeare Company. The Royal Shakespeare Company is an amazing theater in the city, and needless to say, going to a proper Shakespearean play is one of the best things to see in Stratford Upon Avon. And what better place to do it than this one? Of course, besides his well-known plays, the theater has around 20 new productions every year, some of them written by living artists. The Royal Shakespeare Theatre's building has a controversial story. It was built by a female architect named Elizabeth Scott, who wasn't old enough to vote at that time, and even though many people questioned, and still do, her architectural choices. The building was officially opened on Shakespeare's birthday on 23rd of April 1932. After that, the theater closed in 2007 for a major renovation of the inside, and it reopened again in 2010 as it is now. Number 4. Holy Trinity Church. Now, I told you that almost everything in this city is related to Shakespeare, right? That includes this church, which is considered to be one of the most visited parish churches in England. Holy Trinity Church is located right on the banks of the Avon River, and it's the place where Shakespeare was baptized and buried after his death in 1616. This beautiful, quiet church is around 800 years old, but it continues to be extremely beautiful nowadays too, with its stained glass windows and high altar. Many people go there just to pay homage at Shakespeare's grave, but are, in fact, impressed by the entire church, as it is a very nice place to visit nonetheless. Number 3. The New Place. Are you interested in seeing the place where the famous poet lived at the height of his creative powers and find out more about his family? Shakespeare's New Place is the place to visit. This is the house where Shakespeare lived for most of his married life, about 19 years, and where he died too. He moved into the house in 1597 until he died there in 1616. Sadly, the original house was demolished in the 18th century. There's an interesting story behind the reason why that happened, which you will learn if you visit. But the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust, the company that also owns all 5 of the cottages I mentioned above, rebuilt it and transformed it into an interactive museum. Here you can learn all about the life of this world-famous writer. Number 2. Anne Hathaway's Cottage and Gardens. Let's try and avoid an awkward misunderstanding right away. No, this is not the famous Hollywood actress who decided to buy property here. Anne Hathaway is Shakespeare's wife, and this is her childhood home, another one of the main places to visit in Stratford Upon Avon. You might expect a Romeo and Juliet type of love story between them, but Shakespeare actually got married when he was 19 because Anne claimed to be pregnant. She was 27 years old at the time, 8 years older than he was. Some biographers believe that he was forced and tricked. Some say it was true romantic love at first sight, but we will never know the truth, will we? Anne Hathaway's cottage was built in 1463, and she was born there in 1556. Besides being Anne's childhood home and the place where the writer courted his bride-to-be, this place is worth visiting because it's very pretty, very well preserved, and full of orchards and woodland. All the original furniture was kept intact, so you can have a true understanding of those times. Plus, the cottage has a very nice garden too. Number 1. Shakespeare's Birthplace. Of course, I had to end with the most important site in the city, right? Shakespeare's Birthplace is a historical museum and, you guessed it, the place where the famous writer was born. Needless to say, this is also one of the main Stratford Upon Avon tourist attractions. The house dates from the 16th century, and it was restored to resemble the original place as closely as possible, so it is definitely a must-visit while you're in the city. Did you know that William Shakespeare was a member of the aristocracy? His father was a wealthy glove maker, and that the writer himself opened an inn and pub downstairs that was functional for over 250 years. The artists in each room will tell you these and many other good-to-know facts, regardless if you are a Shakespeare fan or not. We hope you enjoyed our video today. Please consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when we release a new video. Also, why not comment down below about which place you found to be the most interesting in Stratford Upon Avon?